Hi, Billy's here for the lily pad. We are talking about actions and styles. Let's see. Which one I wanted to show you right now. These are some great ones. In this case, I'm going to use the Leah's or Mommy-ish styling number 186 folded. You get to be able to fold your little papers. This is so cute. I truly love this one. But this one is one of those cases where you're adding a pattern to the style is adding a pattern so you can move it around to make it work for you. Okay, like I said in the first video, so go check out that video if you haven't looked at it. If you haven't watched it, it is StylesAndActions101, I believe it's the name. Okay, so I double click on my style and it's all the way down here. So I get diamonds. So I'm gonna pick this LOL. I'm gonna make a big, so you can see it. This is a big piece of the frame that I'm hiding over there because I don't want to use it as a frame anymore. I use it just as a piece of paper. But I want to add some interest. So you can do a diamond fold, and here you can barely see that diamond fold in here. Remember what I told you, if you go here, double click on the FX button, now you can, and you, click on the pattern overlay, then you can move that fold wherever you want. So it's more prominent and you can enjoy it better. Or, see, cancel. We can do a different fold, which I don't even see in this case. So we can double click here. See if we can figure out what that should look like. I'm moving it. Should be somewhere. Oh, I see it very light, but since it's white, it's hard to see here. So let's look at another one. I really like this one. This is my favorite. This one you can barely see it. This one, oh, I love this one because it's very deep in here, and that's the one I'm gonna keep. But now I want to add a shadow to my page, and since I don't remember, I seriously don't memorize my shadows because I use so many different styles for shadows. What I usually do is I right click. I'm gonna convert this to a smart object, then it flattens down this new style that I just created. Then I go over here and where are they? I think I'm gonna use this one. Oh, that's a little bit dark. Oh, I think I like that one better. Okay, and then in this case, I am going to show you how I modify my shadows. I'm gonna create a layer. So now my shadow is at a different layer. And I'm gonna go over here. I'm gonna actually do, oh, you know what? I'm gonna do it differently. I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna click here, and I have the smudge tool. I want this to be pretty small. See how this is folded here? Which means one thing is that this is gonna probably get closer. Get this a little bit bigger. This is going to be probably closer here, so less of a shadow there, but it's going to have more of a shadow here. Okay, same here. Going to have a little bit more of a shadow here, but less of a shadow here. And you see how my circle keeps going big and small. I'm doing that with my square bracket keys. Left square bracket makes it smaller, the right square bracket makes it bigger. And then maybe I can even put this one a little bit and push it here because it's underneath a different piece of paper, so the shadow is going to be smaller. And this one we could maybe make it raise a little bit. Right there. Now, another thing is that if I am cutting a piece of paper, I probably do not have the center of I'm going to make a mask. I'm going to go here to my brush. I am going to go get a hard brush. Oops. A hard brush. I'm at 100%. I'm going to make it smaller. I'm going to make sure that I am in black, so I'm going to hit X. And I am going to remove that center. Now, of course, I got my drop shadow. Now I can do two things. I can do everything again, or I can command click on this mask that I created here, right? And I can just on this one. And there it is. It's when I added it, since it was already selected. But since it's a shadow, you gotta clean a little bit more. And I kind of like that a lot more. If you want to see the before and after, you can disable the layer mask. That's how it looked. So obviously, without the shadow. And I will layer mask. So you really like that. That is cute. See how it has a little left here and it's tucked a little bit here. Okay. Oh, one more thing. Ooh, before I forget, I almost forgot. I want to do some stitching here. I'm going to show you. So we just use this one with foldeds. Really cute, right? And then the other one that I want to use is this one. It's by Leah too, and it's called Stitching Action 2015. This one is really cool too. Again, for CS or cloud, you gotta do the brush, the style, and the action. Okay, and you can use all three or just some of them. Let me show you. In this case, it's a few steps, and she explains you step by step what you need to do right here in her instructions for Photoshop elements, for Photoshop, and some tips. Okay. Okay. So let's go back here. I'm gonna clicking on my photo. I want to create. You have to pick if you're going to create a path from text. Stitching path from text, create path from vector, from raster, from map. So I'm going to create a path from raster, and I'm going to click OK. And now that I have that, I can pick in between large or small stitching. I'm going to go with the small stitching this time. I usually pick the large one. Okay. And I am going to I need to make sure that and it's going to tell you that the color of the stitching is what I want. I want a white stitching, which she reminds you, which is really cool. You see, make sure you have your foreground chosen as you're stitching before you're playing. I'm like, yep, I just did. But it's nice that she reminds you. Let me click continue, and it's going to stitch for me. And there it is. And there's a few things. Your holes are going to be always below the base layer, and the stitching are going to be above. Why? Because the stitching is supposed to be right smack in the border. You see, it's like holding it right on the border. I usually put my holes right below the stitches. Why? Why do I do that? And I'm going to show you why. Because I take these two and I link them together, because I like my stitches to be just a little bit inside my element. A tiny bit. That's my personal. It's a preference, personal preference. If you want them in the corner, the way she makes them, that is perfectly fine too. I just really like them like that. And then you could come and still attach. You can now do, and it just adds a little bit more. See? So you could do that or not, however you want. It's your pick. So you can add a style to make it look even a little bit more stitchy. But I think it looks pretty amazing to me. Like, I really like that. And there you have it. Some stitching, some pattern overlays, a little bit of playing with your shadows. just have fun and try different things, okay?